Good morning, everybody. As you can see over here, Lucy's had a very, 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 very rough weekend, and she's chilling out with me this morning. She may or may not stay for the whole thing. Depends. She gets bored faster than you guys do, so sometimes she'll just take off. So anyhow, uh, crazy weekend. Um, got very hot. No storms, but everything's wet this morning. And I'm not sure if it rained last night or not. Um, y- you know, um, Trump is taking his "I don't care" attitude. He's out playing golf or what he did over the weekend, and I don't think he can play golf anymore. I think he's got foot problems. They say he has flat feet, and I know, they can be very painful. So, too bad. Karma, baby, karma. Remember that. Um, but the deal here with the Ukraine is that Russia invaded the Ukraine. There is no ifs, ands, buts, or maybes about that. They did that. Now, Trump's idea of a peace agreement is that they give Russia all the uh, land that they're presently occupying rather than try to take it back. They basically disarm to a certain degree, I guess. They disarm completely. That's out of the question. And they can't join NATO because NATO scares Russia. All right? And Russia wants to be able to do whatever it wants to do when it wants to do it. So my feelings about this peace agreement are it sucks. Basically what Trump is asking Zelensky to do is to surrender. It's a conditional surrender. It's not an unconditional surrender, but it's very close to an unconditional surrender. Admit that you lost the war. You've lost 14,000 men or something like that. I don't know how many Russia's lost. And North Korea has lost about 9 or 10,000 men. So who knows what's going on there. Russia's fighting against two countries. Little Ukraine is fighting against two militaristic countries in North Korea and Russia. And I'm not sure where else they're getting their supplies from. All right? And Russia now knows that there's nobody over there that can stand up to them or is willing to stand up to them because Trump won't stand up to them. Trump's a pussy, and everybody has to know that. He's turning this country into a bunch of pussies. We can't do anything. We can't fight. We can't make good deals anymore. And he's going out there. And I think that's kind of a disgusting thing, but what can I tell you? Personally, there's not much I can do. I wish there was. I wish I was younger. I don't know whether I would go. I don't think I would go there to fight because I don't like fighting losing wars. I didn't like the Vietnam War because it was a losing proposition. So I'm not sure what I would do if I was of that age right now. Because your thinking changes. It's easy to sit here in front of a microphone and say the things I do and say, go do this, go do that. Everybody does it. Now, we have an interesting story coming out. Petrocon or something like that is a company that Vance was involved with because Thiel is the multi-billion-dollar owner of that company. And everybody seems to be worried about surveillance from this company. Personal surveillance. Well, you're being surveilled by everybody sooner or later. I mean, this is ridiculous. That's just that all they are is a data collection point. They'll take it all and sort it out, But everybody surveils you. Amazon surveils you. They all do. You go on the internet, you're being surveilled. All right? It's just the way things are nowadays. They say it's to protect you from falsehoods and malware and all that. Nah, I'm not so sure about that. But I'm really sure that they're not doing that for the benefit of mankind. Trust me, nobody does that anymore. Not even the Red Cross. So now, what I try to explain to people is that when Hitler came to power, he had the Gestapo, and same thing when Russia went communist. They had the Gestapo, which was basically in some cases, punished innocent people to install fear into the guilty ones, or you had a system that which would greatly reward people. A simple thing like in Russia, housing was a huge deal. If you ratted out, you remember the Communist Party, and you ratted out somebody else, you could get a very good deal, government job, the whole 9 yards. You were eating better. You weren't waiting in bread lines or anything like that. Well, the Gestapo was the same way. They rewarded you for snitching on your friends. And that could get expensive after a while. And a lot of innocent people were attacked and killed or what have you, disappeared. But now you have the internet. Now just about everybody alive uses some sort of electronic device, if it's a watch or whatever, and that watch at some time or another, or that bracelet you have, health bracelet or whatever you're using, at some point in time connects to the internet. All right, and by the push of a button, they can pretty much research you back to the day you were born. And you say, well, I can't do that with Google. Yeah, but they don't use Google, folks. Okay? They're using some nastier shit. All right? So they're far, far, far beyond Google. And it's in artificial intelligence, if you don't want it around, that's fine. That's not going to stop this process. Okay? It's going to slow it down a little bit, maybe. Make it slightly less accurate. But it's not going to stop it, okay? Even artificial intelligence couldn't stop it if it wanted to stop it, because it's a logical progression of its own purpose in life. So that's, the stupidity of it. You sitting around now, and what conversation's being monitored, and I'm not saying anything outrageous or anything like that, and I don't really care one way or the other. I'm not going to live forever. And even if they promised me I could live forever, the way I feel right now, no, I don't want to do that. But this is a big issue. People say it's a privacy issue. There's no such thing as privacy anymore. I don't care if you're Trump. Okay, there are people out there that can hack anywhere, get into anything. It's like assassinating the president. Okay, it's been considered. It's been told to me was once told to me by a Secret Service agent that the American presidents are one of the easiest targets in the world. If you want to shoot him, assassinate him. The trick is getting away with it. The information that you glean as to where he's going to be and when he's going to be there, that person who gave you that information knows that. And how that person got that information is known by somebody else, and by that somebody else and somebody else. There are too many people involved in something like a presidential assassination. But they said, look at this kid out in Pennsylvania that got away with that. He didn't get away with anything. I'm not even sure he was there to shoot the president. He was supposedly a great shot, and that was the worst shot, you know. And the fact that he hit him in the ear was lucky that he hit him at all. Yet he killed another man dead center in the heart. So there's some speculation about that. But if you to kill a president of the United States is, first of all, most presidents have vice presidents nobody wants, and they're the next in line. Now, nobody really wants Vance. All right? If Vance is trying to build up his partnership with this guy Thiel and this company, I probably pronounced it wrong, Patra something or another. I'm not even going to try anymore. But, wait a minute, let me get it right for you. Okay, hold on 1 second, I'll get it right for you. Palantir, Palanitr. That's company's been around for a while. It is they claim it's like a data storage company or something like that, and it's more than that. It's a data collection company. All right, they all collect, they all sell. You know. You say, you have to sign, don't sell my data. Bullshit. They probably sold it 3 times before you filled out the address. You know, it's a wild, crazy thing that the world does, selling and dealing with data. Data is very important. When you say data, what are you talking about? Well, every facet of your life, how you shop, what you buy, what are your preferences. You start buying a lot of sexy lingerie, then there's, they start looking at you as a sexual pervert or somebody that can be exploited by sexuality. This gives them the fact that they know this much about you individually gives them a very big leg up on you as a person, what they're going to do. I mean, thank God they can't read my dreams, because I'd be a sexual pervert time, man. Wow, at my age, that's all I can do is dream. I tell you, it's like I said before. And I've said this many times over the years, over the last 2 or 3 years that you guys have been listening to me. It's not Donald Trump you have to worry about. He's a moron. He's an idiot who has trouble tying his own shoes, okay? What you have to worry about are the people around him and behind him. Most of the people behind him. You got Stephen Miller, now you got Thiel and Thule and Vance and all these other whack jobs behind him. And they're all yes men. That's his idea of a business, is surrounding himself with yes men. What the yes men are people basically that if something really bad goes wrong, he can blame it on them. In business, that's what he did. In his first year in the presidency, that's what he did. He blamed everybody but him. Now, it's a little difficult, okay? Because his support is different, because they know he's not going to be around in 2 years, 2.5 years. Okay, he's gone. That's it. This is his last hurrah. His last year in office is going to be the worst year for the American people, unless somebody takes care of that. They impeach him or something like that, and remove him from office before he can do more damage than he's already done. You have a two-faced, your next guy up is two-faced. Trump is triple, maybe quadruple-faced, but now you're going to have a two-face if Vance runs, okay? First of all, right now, I don't think he could get, if the election is legal and legitimate, there's no way in hell he gets elected, all right? But let's say it's not illegal, and real, okay? He gets elected. What's going to be different? Nothing. He's probably even more aggressive, especially racially, you know? The one thing that he's fighting racially with his wife is he wants her to become a Christian, which would be, I don't know whether that he can, he'd have to do something special for some of these Christian churches because I don't think they take her based upon her religious background. But you never know. Okay, gang, it's Monday. And as usual, down here weather-wise, Monday sucks, right? It's cloudy, overcast, it looks like it's rain. There's enough humidity that everything gets soaking wet anyhow without the rain. It's just one of those days. I'm going to get about 4 inches of my hair cut off, so I'll be bald the next time you see me. That's about 3 o'clock this afternoon. Now you see, there's a fact that automatically somebody somewhere knows that. If it's of any kind of interest to them. The location of my barber, and if you have a phone, they know where you are. Okay, you see it on TV. They ping your phone, and they can come up within blocks of you. Well, that's a lot closer than you think. It's somewhere in the neighborhood. If they really go after you, they can get to within 13 inches of you. They don't show that in the TV FBI shows and stuff like that, but that is exactly what can be done. All right? Now that I've made you all feel great and excited about the week, it's Monday. Yay! Hey, what can I tell you, people? I'm just a ball of sunshine here, So hit the subscribe button if you really want to be depressed, okay? I don't sell drugs for that. You have to get out of it yourself. So if you really want to get to help your depression, don't subscribe to me. But if you're interested in seeing what depression looks like, subscribe to me. I'll give you a dose of it every day. In the meantime, folks, after you've hit the subscribe button and you sit there and you start crying, why did I do that? I'll be right here. I'll see you tomorrow.